Hello and welcome to the English 030 Brightspace template. I'm hoping to just provide you with a brief tour of what has been put into this template and suggest some areas that you customize and modify. So we are on the home welcome page for the course here. Hopefully you all saw the announcement that was meant for you. You'll want to delete this because it was for instructors and not students. So one of the first things you might want to do is add your instructor information as well as to customize the welcome message for your students. I did not put any content in there for you. Where I tend to spend the most time in here is in the content folder. And in content, the first area you probably want to spend some time is the overview and syllabus. You'll want to customize this message for students. I did not do that for you. Here you will find the syllabus for academic grammar. The highlighted areas in yellow are things that you should personalize or make accurate. We have provided a recommended sequence of topics and also indicated required topics. They are highlighted in blue. That's our goal, is to get through at least all of these if possible. You'll see other areas that you'll need to modify here. So once you edit the syllabus, it's actually very easy. You just drag and drop it here and it will replace it with your syllabus. The next area is welcome start here. Again, I put very generic language. This is basically the course description. You might want to add something a little more personal in there, a little more friendly with the student audience in mind. Here you're going to see a lot of the housekeeping items that would take place probably during the first week of school. Meet your instructor, add your information. I think it'd be great to update that, provide a little bit of information about yourself. I did put the course schedule in here. It reflects what is in the syllabus, but you're going to need to make that reflect your course pacing. I've included instructions for how to register for Grammar Sense Online, as well as instructions for a discussion board if you're using that, and also generic descriptions of the types of assignments we will be doing in grammar. The rest of these things are related to college. You'll have to make a decision whether you want these things to be required for your students or not. So if you click on course content on the left, that's where we get to all of the goodies. So the orientation module, there's nothing in there right now. A team is working on some assignments that will help students get familiar with Brightspace and also resources at SMCC. So for example, they might practice taking a short quiz or uploading an assignment and maybe a visit from a librarian or a tutor. So this content will be provided. It's just not in there yet. But our goal is for all instructors to do the same orientation module for the first 2 weeks to give students a strong foundation to start the semester with. The next module is the shared module. So again, this is something that we are piloting. We are having all of the intermediate English classes work with the same article annotated by the author. These 5 cuisines are easier on the planet. So students in each class should read the article and then do activities related to the content area in your course. So for here, there's an introduction to the module. I've provided a link to the article. I've put in a PowerPoint presentation that goes over the parts of speech very basically and a little bit about subject and verb agreement with activities that are pulled directly from the article. I've also included a video that highlights indigenous cooking, which is actually also mentioned in the article. For to-dos here, there is a discussion topic if you are interested in using that, and then an assignment related to parts of speech and the article. So we're really hopeful that by having all of the students in the classes read the same article, they will see connections between the 3 different courses. Next, the remaining modules are all pulled directly from Grammar Sense, so they are based on grammatical topic. Each module has been set up in the same way. So again, there's a generic description of each module. On the top part here, so above the to-do folder, is really kind of the faculty area. That's how I like to think of it. But students can see all of this stuff too, unless you hide it. But for each module, I have put in a very basic introduction, as well as learning objectives that pretty much cover form, meaning, and use. If you wanted to modify those to make them more specific, I think that would be okay. I've also put the PDF that gives an overview of each of the topics. These come directly from Grammar Sense Online. I think they are wonderful resources for students and faculty both. So those are in there for you. And I put those in for every single module, whether we go through all the modules or not. I've also included videos for the first couple of modules. I found that with teaching online, it helped to provide some supplemental material outside of what we could cover in our synchronous Zoom lecture. You might use these, you could delete them. If you have PowerPoints you want to put in here or videos you've made, please do so. Now the to-do area is where we want students to do work. So there's a to-do list with little check marks. You're going to need to make sure that these reflect what you actually want students to do. So for each module in here, I have put a discussion, a writing prompt, which is an electronic submission of an assignment, a link to Grammar Sense with the corresponding chapter. It does not take students directly to the chapter, but it does take them to Grammar Sense where they can log in and begin working. And then a placeholder for a quiz. Doesn't mean you have to give a quiz here, but I put that placeholder there and it is connected to the gradebook should you want to use it. So unlike the first few modules you see here, when you get to number 8, so relative clauses and adjective phrases, I did not include content. So basically there's the PDF from Grammar Sense with an overview of the grammatical topic, but you're going to want to make sure you put your own lecture material there. You do not need to use the things I provided in the previous modules, but it was just to help give you an idea. Feel free to edit them, delete them, make them your own. It's all up for grabs. But again, what's important is the consistent structure for students. So again, with the to-do list, a discussion topic, a writing prompt, Grammar Sense Online, and then a quiz should you choose to use that. If you go to the assignments area, you will see all of the placeholders I've created for assignments. So for these, they are all the writing prompts. Some of them have been populated with ideas. Others you'll need to add if you use them. And you won't necessarily be using all of these writing prompts, so you'll want to delete the topics that you're not going to cover. And they have all been connected to the gradebook. You can see here by that little key looking thing. The same thing goes for discussions. There is a placeholder for a discussion related to each module. Some of them, as you can see, I've populated with ideas, some including pictures, and then there are others where it just says insert your discussion here. So again, any of these can be modified. I just wanted to provide some ideas. Discussions don't necessarily need to be required where we are meeting synchronously in Zoom, but you might use this. They are currently connected to the gradebook as counting for participation. Under assignments, if you look at quizzes, Again, I've populated a couple of them with sample quizzes, but most of this are just placeholders. So you'll have to use the quiz function in Brightspace to go in there, edit, and add your own quiz. But they are connected to the gradebook with the correct weighting to hopefully clear up any confusion there. If we go to grades and look at manage grades, this is where you can see the overall weighting. The weighting reflects what is in our syllabus. So written practice is weighted at 20%. These are all of those assignments. Again, you don't need to use all of these. Quizzes are weighted at 20%. Assignments and online homework is 30%. Exams are 25%, and then participation in discussions for 5%. So again, a lot of this is placeholders, but it's there should you decide to use it. One thing I forgot to point out is back on the content page, at the very, 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 very bottom is important information visible to faculty only. I suggest that if you find yourself struggling with how to do something, look in this area because there are a ton of videos, tutorials showing you how to do things. I still refer to it often. Some other things in here are a welcome letter template for students that you might want to send to them or post. This has not been edited, so you'll want to do that if you choose to send them an electronic correspondence that way. But again, great resources in there for faculty. You will also notice that, so right now, most of these things are visible. So you can tell something is hidden when there's the crossed out eyeball. So you're going to want to go through and make anything hidden that you do not want students to see. You can always unhide something. I think I'm going to try to hide a lot because I don't want to overwhelm students. So this was just a very basic overview of the template. I'd say get in there, personalize it, make it work for your students, but if we can try to stick with a consistent structure, that will benefit everyone. Thank you for your time.